Now, growth obviously is just one component of a company's valuation story, right? The other is free cash flow margins. And we have two metrics that combine growth and free cash flow rates to help us figure out what a company should be worth, right? And those two metrics are Rule of 40 and Rule of X. So let's take a look at the trends in those two metrics over the last couple of quarters. So we'll start with Rule of 40 as a refresher. Rule of 40 combines free cash flow margins and growth rates, right? So if you had a free cash flow margin of 13% and a ARR growth rate of 26%, you would have a Rule of 40 of 39. You simply sum those two numbers together. Now, what we can see in this Rule of 40 chart here is that the control group largely outperforms Palantir up until about Q2 of 2023. This was largely driven by the growth rate disparity that we saw in the previous chart. And then from that point on, the two charts diverge pretty significantly. So with the peak difference occurring in Q4 of last year, so Palantir reported Rule of 40 of 91, and the control group came in at just 23. So this again was driven just by the large increases in ARR growth that Palantir has been able to drive over the last few quarters, right? And we just haven't seen that from almost any other public SaaS companies over the last few years.